Up to camp today. We shall see. Right now, the road seems fine. It's much better than it was last time up here, obviously. But we never know. So we're going to go nice and slow. It's definitely got some sand to it, so that's good. Hello again, everyone. Like I said, up to camp today. It's a beautiful day. It's 40 right now, and yeah, just great, nice and quiet up here. I love this place because it's obviously great in the summertime, but it's beautiful in the winter as well. All right, let's go inside and get to work. All right, so here's the Backsplash tile that we decided to go with. It's the Angora 2-inch hexagon pattern. I think it picks up on some of the browns and lighter colors while giving it some of contrast. I think it goes really nicely with the countertops that we chose. What I'm going to do now is just kind of lay out roughly where everything will go so I get an idea of the footprint of what we're working with. I want to make sure, obviously, we've got that taken care of. And then I got to figure out what makes sense as far as cutting these. So probably going to want to take off a couple of the hexagon pieces from the backing to fill in the spots there. So let's go ahead and do our layout and see what we've got for pieces. I'm going to start here along the wall of the refrigerator, work our way around that corner into the sink, and then we'll go obviously underneath the sink and then back up. So we'll have some edge banding here and here. This will continue all the way down, and then we'll have some edge banding here at the end of the cabinet. But we'll probably end up doing that later. So I just want to get this done first. So I've just laid out my pieces here, overlapped, so we got an idea of how many sheets that I'll need, and then we'll go ahead and cut them so we can get them actually looking like they're going to be installed, and then we can go from there. So as you can see on the back of these, it's literally just this mesh that you have. So we'll just cut through wherever we need to with the tile saw, and then put it right on to the backsplash area. Alright, so this is not a paid promotion, but I picked this up on Amazon when I first started coming up here because I didn't have a work table to work on. This is a Ketered table, and literally all you have to do is just hold it like this, push these buttons in, and it just folds it down into a table. All set there. Also not sponsored, but I did also grab this Viver tile saw, which will fit on there nicely. There is some assembly required on here, which I did at home the other night. It's pretty much just, adding the blade guard, putting the blade in, putting in the reservoir here, and there's also another tank that fits in here as well that holds the water. But it was pretty straightforward, pretty easy, and for I think I paid $35 for this because it was one of those Amazon warehouse deals. But I think normally they're only like 60, maybe $70. Thought it would be worth it to go ahead and get that. So it has a little guide here that you can move back and forth, and then it just slides off on the end. Also has a little bevel, so if you want to cut things at an angle, you have the ability to do that as well. So it just slides up. You can make it at whatever degree that you need to. So pretty handy for $35. If you can get it as a warehouse deal, would strongly recommend. All right, so I've got everything set up here for the tile saw. As you can see, we've got the guide in here so that when we cut, it's going to cut along this edge So we'll just cut off every other here so we can get a nice flat start there. So we'll go ahead and get started on that. Okay, so water's working well, so we're good there. Get this set up so we're ready to go. On second thought, I think that water is working too well. Try to put it back on the guard. Alright. No time for a shower now. Back to towel work. Alright, everyone. So she got pretty decent. You know, it's not the best, but for, you know, again, $35 and to do it yourself, or it could be user error, obviously, not so bad. But I did get 2 pieces cut. So there's our first main piece, and then the upper piece that we'll fill in, and we'll see how well it looks on the wall. Alright, so again, 2 pieces. This will be the bottom piece. We're going to put up like that, and then this piece will go just like that. Oh yeah, perfect. Looks good. So now we can work our way down. You want to notice on the tiles here, there's 2 ways you can put it, obviously. There's a left and right side. But you'll notice they're off-centered. So obviously we wouldn't want to go here because it would mean we'd have to take pieces out. But if we go this way, fits in perfect. Which means we just got to cut this bottom row off and then continue on. And now, just time for a couple quick cuts, and we're back in business. Alright guys, so as you can see, we've got this side of the backsplash all cut out, ready to go, except for outlet placements, of course. So I'll have to measure that and put them on and then cut them out. I gotta figure out what the best way to do that is, because it's kind of a pain just to cut a straight line since everything kind of floats and the mesh backing on these doesn't hold as well all the time. Some of these pieces came off and I just put them back in so that they're there when I go to install. So I'm going to have to figure that out, of course. Luckily with the ability, you know, I can cut it just enough for the outlet to poke through, and then when we put the cover over, it'll, you know, cover up any imperfections for the most part, but still got to figure that out. And then obviously you got to do here, underneath, and then that section over there. Which shouldn't be too bad, hopefully. It took a lot more than I had thought originally. So this is almost 2 boxes. You know, obviously there's some scrap pieces and stuff left, but I'm hoping I have enough. Because really it's just, this is about the same size as this, so that shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, it's going through tile pretty quickly. So alright, so I think for the outlets what I'm going to do is measure the distance. We're at 20 and 21 and a half. Go here. And I'm just going to take some blue painter's tape. At 20, 20 and a half. And then from here, we're at 7 and a half, 10 and a quarter, 7 and a half, 10 and a quarter. So what I did was I marked, as you can see here on the painter's tape, roughly where the outlet itself is. That way I can have a little bit of playroom on my cuts, and then obviously when the cover goes over it, it will cover it anyways. Hopefully, let's see where this lands. It's actually on one piece, except for, yeah, it's all in one piece. So we should be hopefully able to cut that out pretty easily. Alright, so we've got all of the pieces cut except for this L shape down the wall here and over behind the sink. So we're just going to go ahead and get that cut now. Just try to get some measurements and we'll get to it. Was a pretty productive day up at camp today. Did some sanding to get into camp, obviously. It was pretty icy. But then got about half, a little bit more than half of the tile done for the kitchen, which was good. My mom and grandmother were with me today, and so my mom worked upstairs, did a lot of the trim work and a lot of the touch-up painting, which is good. We needed to get that done. So really there's just a little bit here and there that we need to touch up now for paint. A little bit more spots for caulking the trim to get that taken care of. And the other half of the tile. And then it's just a matter of getting Mark and his crew back in for the fireplace. And then we will be renting. So there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And it's getting closer every day. But thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one.